I feel incredibly proud to have seen New Zealand, and New Zealanders just embrace this competition. I think when the government set out to host this event, you make a bid and then you hand it over to the country and just let the country do what it does so well, and that is host people and look after people. And what a magnificent job New Zealand has done.
Have you got a picture in your mind that you will kind of take with you from the tournament so far?
Oh, my word, that opening match. That opening match, I felt slightly ridiculous because at the end of that game, I started to cry and I did not stop crying for quite some time. And when we went down to the dressing room, what a treat to be able to see the team. And, I just said to them, you cannot know in this moment in time the impact that you've had for the game and for, women and girls in sport in New Zealand. It's just incredible. They are part of a revolution, and what a revolution it is.
We were talking about the fight for equality and parity within national associations and federations. You are somebody used to dealing with policy. What would be your message to those associations, those people who were reluctant to give their women's teams, the women's setup, parity with the men?
Right from the outset, it wasn't just about having a strategy, it was about saying to those governing boards, you need to have 50% women on your governing boards because, we've got to amplify the voice of women and girls, and one place to do that is right at the top. And so I think that was a really important part of the strategy. But then thinking about it at every level, as I say, it's not enough to think about how do we elevate people in those top tiers. If you haven't done the grassroots job, then you haven't got that pathway for people. For me, though, in policy making, it's always about bring the evidence and bring the lived experience. Talk to the people who know, who are going through it, who understand it.
Moving forwards, using your platform, what is the most important thing for you in the fight for equity and inclusion?
Again, I come back to these simple measures. What kind of world is my daughter going to step into? My daughter's going to look to the future and she'll think that she can be an elite athlete because of the football ferns or the black ferns, and she's seen it in real time. It's about just continuing to break down those barriers wherever we see them. Everyone makes a little contribution in that regard. Every time they do something a little bit differently than it was done before, every time they wear the consequence of that, if there is, every time they go out of their comfort zone and just push a little further along, you're laying that pathway for someone else. That's legacy.